Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University, this is a Channel 18 Rockbridge News Update.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's Rockbridge Live Update. I'm Drew Thompson. We're 1 week out from the Virginia governor's election and it's tight. No Republican has won statewide office since 2009, and polls showed Terry McAuliffe tied with Glenn Youngkin. Joe Biden is campaigning with McAuliffe today to help him through the finish line. A Virginia public access report shows Youngkin outraised McAuliffe this month, but McAuliffe outspent Youngkin. A storm system is threatening millions of Americans on the East Coast today, as folks in the Midwest deal with tornadoes and the West Coast recovers from record-shattering rainfall. CNN's Britt Conway has the latest on the wicked weather ripping across the country this week.
Rain and wind heading up the East Coast, tornadoes ripping through parts of the Midwest, and record-breaking storms on the West Coast. A triple play of extreme weather. 70 million Americans on the East Coast are bracing for severe weather. The National Weather Service says a powerful autumn nor'easter is headed to the Northeast and New England, bringing high wind and heavy rain today, prompting several flash flood watches in the Northeast, along with a pre-storm state of emergency in New Jersey and more than 20 counties in New York. In the Midwest, from Illinois to Missouri, people are cleaning up after tornadoes ripped through towns and ripped apart homes.
It's heartbreaking. See your life for 20 years gone.
Parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas could get tornadoes too, as strong storms head their way today. The West Coast had its own walloping from Mother Nature, snow in one part of California and torrential rain in other areas of the state. Even still, it wasn't enough to make a dent in the drought, but it did raise the alarm in an area hit by fire recently.
With intense rainfall, all of that's going to break loose and come flying down the canyons.
Which is why people were asked to evacuate.
We pretty much have two seasons, fire season and storm season, and looks like we're into storm season all of a sudden.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Following a lot of rain yesterday, here's what to expect for the next few days. We're warming up tomorrow to a high of 70 with partly cloudy skies, but by Thursday we'll cool down again, followed by rain coming in on Friday and Saturday. Facebook reported higher profit in the last financial quarter, even after whistleblower Frances Haugen released internal papers last month. She says Facebook values money over user safety. Businessman and early Facebook investor Roger McNamee agreed. He says Mark Zuckerberg is backed into a corner.
The fundamental problem that he faces is that he's spent the last 10 years successfully persuading policymakers in the press that every attack against them was really an attack on free speech. And that is just completely unacceptable. And it's got everybody recognizing that the issue is the business model and it's Facebook itself.
Senators are questioning executives at YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat today to find out what they are doing to ensure safety on their platforms. U.S. borders will reopen to foreign travelers on November 8th. The Biden administration announced that non-immigrant adults are required to be fully vaccinated and must present a negative test 3 days before traveling. Kids under 18 and people coming from countries with vaccine shortages are not required to be vaccinated, but are required to show a negative test. The Biden administration continues to encourage vaccinations by making activities more inconvenient if you don't have your shot. Americans are expected to spend a record $10 billion on Halloween this year. The National Retail Foundation says people will spend $2 billion more this year than in 2020 on Halloween candy, decorations, and costumes for adults, kids, and pets. Over $3.3 billion of spending will go to costumes, the most consumers have spent since 2017. On average, consumers are expected to spend a little more than $102 on Halloween-related items. And speaking of Halloween, you can't have fall without pumpkins, and today is the day to celebrate it. Whether you enjoy jack-o'-lanterns or pumpkin pie, National Pumpkin Day is the day to fulfill all your pumpkin needs. That's all for today's Rockbridge Live Update. You can stay up to date on regional news by visiting rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Join us again on Thursday at 5 p.m. for the Rockbridge Report.